Good morning, everyone. Good morning, and welcome to Election Vibes and Beyond. I'm your host, Ree, and I'm here to speak with you regarding everything political that's going on today in the Trump presidency, everything that's going on locally, if I see in your area, and possibly international news. So let me go ahead. You guys see up here on the toolbar where it strolls across in the pink, everything that I state is allegedly, and it's always in my opinion. So if you could like, subscribe, and if you're not a subscriber, go ahead and turn on the notification bell, comment, and share below. If you can like, subscribe, comment, share, and turn on the notification bell. And this is the Copyright Act of 1976. Everything is for fair use. The purposes of news reporting, teaching, commenting, celebrity news, and different things of that nature. So I wanted you guys to see that because I wanted to make sure you understand everything is allegedly over here. Now, you see the title, it states House hearing on illegal immigration and ICE raid hearing. In this hearing, it's about 3 hours long, but I cut down about 25 minutes. But I'm not going to play the entire hearing. I will put it in the description box, the link, if you want to listen to the entire hearing. But before I play the hearing, I want you guys to hear this guy. His name is Tom Holdman. He is actually, and I'll get his actual title. I just didn't have time this morning, but he's actually over the raids. He's over everything. So he's having an issue with Denver mayor. And I don't think it's just going to be with Denver mayor because a lot of not only mayors but governors are really giving some pushback when it comes to these ICE raids and everything. And that's allegedly. But I want you guys to hear what he has to say. And my source for this is Fox News. Shout out to Fox News. I like to give my sources and let them know thank you. So let's go ahead and share. I want to go ahead and share. And I want you guys to hear what he has to say. Mr. Hoffman. Okay, here we go.
Look, me and the Denver mayor, we agree on one thing. He's willing to go to jail. I'm willing to put him in jail. Because there's a statute, it's Title 8 United States Code 1324 III. And what it says is, it's a felony if you knowingly harbor and conceal an illegal alien from immigration authorities. It's also a felony to impede a federal law enforcement officer. So if we don't want to help, that's fine. He can get the hell out of the way. But we're going to go do the job. President Trump has a mandate for American people. We got to secure this country. We got to save American lives.
Okay, let me let you guys hear him one more time.
Look, me and the Denver mayor, we agree on one thing. He's willing to go to jail. I'm willing to put him in jail. Because there's a statute, it's Title 8 United States Code 1324 III. And what it says is, it's a felony if you knowingly harbor and conceal an illegal alien from immigration authorities. It's also a felony to impede a federal law enforcement officer. So if we don't want to help, that's fine. He can get the hell out of the way. But we're going to go do the job. President Trump has a mandate for American people. We got to secure this country. We got to save American lives.
Okay, independent TV. I also want to send a shout out to independent television as well. Okay, so you guys heard, let me go ahead. I stopped sharing. You guys heard exactly what Mr. Hoffman had to say. Out Hoffman, not Hoff. Why am I saying Hoff? I'm thinking about what's his name. It's Hoffman. Hallman, no F in it. Um, but the thing is, for me, I already seen this coming. I was listening yesterday when some immigration attorneys was like, oh, if ICE comes to your door, you don't have to open the door if they don't have a warrant and all those things. And I'm like, I don't know how that's going to go. But anywho, let me go ahead and get you guys set up for you guys can hear this House hearing, and they're not going to come to a conclusion. I'm going to let you guys hear certain parts, and then also I will let you guys hear the ending to see what they're doing about this. But let me go ahead and get you set up and share this video. So give me one moment.
His JD is from Wisconsin. Brad Knott, who is here as a freshman, worked as a prosecutor with a JD from Wake Forest. Bob Odner, who is here present, who served in the Missouri State Senate with a JD from St. Louis University. Derek Schmidt, freshman from Kansas's 2nd District, former Attorney General of the state of Kansas, former majority and encouraged by President Joe Biden and his allies in Congress. For 4 years, the American people have endured the effect of this calculated lawlessness. Schools flooded with non-English speaking students, hospitals packed with illegals demanding free health care, Americans pushed out of homeless shelters to make room for illegals, an estimated $150 billion a year taken from struggling American families to pay for free food, free legal services, free transportation, free housing, free clothing, free cell phones for all of those who have broken into our country. Millions of American workers have been displaced, driving down wages and drying up opportunities for our own young people. The deadly fentanyl trade coming across our open border now claims the lives of tens of thousands of Americans every year. And worst of all, among these illegal migrants have come the most violent, dangerous, and malevolent criminals and criminal gangs in the world, while sanctuary laws and democratic jurisdictions protect them as they prey on innocent Americans. Every immigration-related agency in Biden's executive branch had a part in destroying the integrity of our immigration system. I'll offer you just a few examples. The U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services did nothing to stop extensive fraud in mass parole programs that it implemented and delayed adjudication of legal immigration applications in favor of those for illegal aliens. The State Department gave U.S. taxpayer money to non-governmental organizations to hire foreign nationals to tell other foreign nationals how to circumvent U.S. immigration laws. The Department of Homeland Security refused to prevent fraud in visa programs and brought interior immigration enforcement to a standstill. Customs and Border Protection abused its authority by paroling in over 531,000 foreign nationals in just one categorical parole program. The Department of Health and Human Services ignored its duty to determine whether unaccompanied alien children who arrived at the border had criminal backgrounds and were in danger to themselves or others before releasing them into our country. The Office of Refugee Resettlement used taxpayer dollars to fund housing for illegal aliens. The Department of Justice told its immigration judges to stop adjudicating cases.
Okay, I'm going to fast forward a little bit because we need to move on. So I want you guys to hear what some of the House representatives asking the questions. So let's go ahead and let Ms. Oh Lord, I tear up people's names. So Lofgren, I don't know what her name is, but here she goes.
Is broken. We need to make necessary reforms and then vigorously enforce the law. We need to provide the resources necessary to secure the border and provide that only those who are permitted entry to the United States are in fact so admitted. The resources should include adequate personnel, technology, and other tools to allow for the orderly entry of only those who secured the proper permission for entry. But we also need to change the law, to reform the law. And when we look to the administration, I think sometimes we should look in the mirror, because the necessary reform of immigration law is a failure of Congress. We have tried over the years to improve the law, and in every case have failed, with our immigration system broken and no longer functioning as it was once intended. Change is necessary. Now, I would include that from families separated due to overly punitive laws, to a dysfunctional employment-based system, mired in unworkable backlogs, to a lengthy and overly complex asylum process that has been exploited by transnational criminal organizations preying upon the desperate. The Immigration and Nationality Act screams for reform. The failure to do that, I believe, as the chairman has indicated, did lead to an election of someone who promise to engage in mass deportations, which I don't believe is necessarily the answer to the challenge that we face. Without reform of the law, the executive is now trying to use a section of the law, 212F, in a way that it was probably never intended, and in the past, the courts have disallowed. The frustration with our immigration border.
I'm moving on to the next. Moving to the next person. Just letting them talk.
And we shouldn't be surprised that who wouldn't want to come to the greatest country ever? But you got to do it legally. That's the problem. And so yesterday, the president started what the American people said to do on November 5th. He started with those 11 executive orders that the chairman talked about. And this hearing is to highlight what took place over the last 4 years and what we have to do to fix the problem the American people elected us to fix. So I appreciate the good work our chairman has done over these last several years. Good work he did on HR 2, the work he's doing with this key subcommittee on this key issue. This is critically important. And our job, one of our jobs, this is reconciliation, we Republicans understand this, is to make sure we have the funds available to execute and get accomplished the executive orders the administration, the president put in place over the last 24 hours. So that's our task. And I appreciate, again, the work of this committee, our staff, and our great chairman of this key subcommittee. With that, I yield back.
Chair now recognizes the ranking member of the House Judiciary Committee, Mr. Jamie Raskin of Maryland, for an opening statement.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The chairman began by saying the point here is to restore the rule of law. Restore the rule of law. Can you even pretend to do that if you stand by and support Donald Trump, who on day one, as the chairman of the committee just said, day one of his presidency, pardoned 1,500 insurrectionists, including hundreds of people who violently assaulted and attacked American police officers? Let's just take one person who is free today, Julian Cater, who had been convicted after having every due process protection, the right to counsel, the right to cross-examine witnesses, the right to introduce evidence, but they had him completely. They knew exactly what happened. Most of this was videotaped so the whole world could see it. Well, Julian Cater repeatedly, violently assaulted our officer protecting us in Congress, Officer Brian Sicknick, who then proceeded to have several strokes and died on January the 7th, 2021, the next day. The family of Officer Sicknick is absolutely devastated and demolished by what's just happened. I invite any of my colleagues, including the members new to this committee who maybe weren't here on January 6th and didn't experience the trauma of that violent insurrection, when we saw a mob marauding through here yelling, "Hang Mike Pence, hang Mike Pence," and looking to assassinate Nancy Pelosi. And now you have the temerity to come forward and say this is about public safety? How much safer are we now with these 1,500 criminals at large in Washington, D.C. and going out into the country? Are you vouching that these people are not going to be attacking any other police officers? Are you vouching that they're no longer a threat to public safety? What an outrage. What a scandal. Well, the hearing has been called not on trying to deal with the public safety crisis created by the president on day one of his presidency, but on immigration. Now, time and again, Democrats have reached across the aisle to fix our immigration system by finding common ground through compromise. We did it in 1986 with a Democratic-led House and a Republican-led Senate when we passed the immigration reform signed into law by President Reagan 4 decades ago. In 2013, under President Obama, Democrats worked with Senate Republicans.
All right, Mr. Raskin is not here to play with them. Mr. Raskin said, "I'm not here to play with you." That pretty much is what I'm gonna allow you guys to hear. Not allow, I'm sorry. I'm just gonna let you guys hear. But I want you to hear the little bit at the end of what they have to say, what they're gonna do in the next 5 days. So I want you guys to hear that. So hold on one moment. Let me click that out of there. Okay, and let me let you guys hear that, and then I'll be back with you.
sanctuary jurisdiction in Colorado, probation cannot even let ICE know when somebody gets taken out of jail and put on probation. So that's someone that's convicted of a crime that's going out onto the street, and that probation officer cannot let ICE know when they're going on probation.
Mr. Newman, my time is about to expire, but I would like to ask you to put in a response regarding the TPS and parole abuses of the past administration and what we can do to assure that that's never done again. But I am now out of time. So if you could give that to us in writing, we will pay very close attention to it. With that, I believe we are ready to conclude today's hearing. I want to thank our witnesses for appearing. I think this was a very illuminating hearing on both sides. Without objection, all members will have 5 legislative days to submit additional written questions for the witnesses or additional material for the record. And with that, and without objection, the hearing is adjourned.
All righty then. All right. Let me go ahead and stop that. Okay. Well, like I said, I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of what was going on in that hearing. If you would like to hear everyone speak and give their, feelings on each side, I will put the link in the description box. All we can do at this point is this is my opinion. I feel at this point, we just have to be prayed up, number one. And number two, you're just going to have to say something. And it's really hard to say something because sometimes you may put yourself in a situation that the eyes may be placed on you. We're just going to have to see what happens these 4 years. I really don't know, but that's what we have to do. So that's my point on this matter. And this was clearly here. I'm clearly here just for you guys to get the information. I will be placing some other videos out, but this is really for informational tools. If you guys want to compensate and everything, that's fine. But this is for me is really informational. If it's something that really burns me up, I will say something. But I just want to let you guys know what's going on out here. So until next time, I just want to tell you guys, thank you for watching and thank you for being here at Election Vibes and Beyond. And until next time, I'm your host, Ree, and you have a great day. Thank you so much.